Welcome to Berkeley Books Time Management Workshop Lesson 2, How to Accomplish Goals in Set Timeframes. In this course, you'll learn how to manage your time more effectively, use prompts to focus on strategies, and be encouraged to set and achieve your goals. The first lesson focused on getting your to-do list out of your head and onto paper in a prioritized order. You can find the Lesson 1 video on our YouTube channel. This second lesson looks at accomplishing them within a set time frame. You'll need our companion workbook on time management, your own paper and pencil, or a digital file to complete the exercises that follow. Before we begin this lesson, take a moment to answer these reflection questions. How have you already started making little changes to the management of your time since Lesson 1? What is working for you? What isn't? What can you improve? What do you still want to learn or practice? The biggest change I've noticed is that there were a lot of things I thought I needed to do in my mind. But when I saw them on paper, I realized I could strike them off the list. Why? Because I didn't really need to do them. They were just taking up mental space. The mind dump method is really working for me. What isn't working so well is finding time to do the things that remain on my to-do list. I'm hoping to learn more about that in this lesson so that I can improve it. What about you? Share your answers in the comments. Ben Franklin once wrote, "Lost time is never found again. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can't get your time back. So make the most of the time you do have. You have things you want to accomplish in life, but having a to-do list, bucket list, or wish list is not enough. You have to find ways to make the time to get them done. So, in that spirit, let's make the time right now for a lesson on how to do this." In the previous lesson, you learned how to declutter your mind from just thinking about doing things to writing them as a prioritized to-do list. You determined what you need to do versus what you'd like to do. You ranked them in priority order so that you'd know which should be done now versus later. You'll now take your prioritized to-do list and determine how much time you need to accomplish each task. Some things, like cleaning off your work desk, may take you only 15 minutes to accomplish. Others, like painting the inside of your house, may take days or even weeks. But overall, everything on your list should have a time and place for its accomplishment. You just need to determine what the time and place will be. That's what we'll be doing in this lesson. Remember that you don't have to feel overwhelmed by anything on your to-do list. Feeling overwhelmed puts you in a negative place, but you don't have to go there. Feeling overwhelmed may make you procrastinate or resist doing things, but the good news is that you can use strategies to give each item on your list its own place and time to be accomplished. Break down everything on your list into the smallest increments that you can achieve within the most reasonable amount of time. Tackling your tasks in this way will alleviate overwhelming feelings. You'll feel relief as things get checked off your list, and you'll start to celebrate each time you check something off your list. So put yourself in this positive mindset instead. Start doing things in terms of milestones and mini achievements. It's like beating the boss in each level of a video game so that by the end you'll beat the game boss. Finally, with consistent practice, you'll be able to make time management a habit. Managing your time with these techniques in mind will quickly become an efficient way to achieve the things on your to-do list. Anytime you start to slide back into the negative space of feeling overwhelmed, return to these lessons. First, do a mind dump, then prioritize your to-do list. And then apply the methods in this lesson to get things done in their set timeframes without feeling overwhelmed. And with that, let's dive in. Look at the things on your current to-do list. If an item is a smaller goal that you can achieve in minutes or hours without breaking it down into further steps, then let's call it a task. Tasks may include washing the dishes, signing a school permission slip, or replying to an email. Put a letter T beside each one to indicate that it's a task. The T is simply a quick visual cue that this item is something you can achieve in a short amount of time. Depending on the other priorities and deadlines on your list, you should try to tackle those things first. Getting tasks done first is a great feeling, and you can celebrate as you check them off your list. They shrink your to-do list down the fastest and will give you a very fast sense of accomplishment. On the other hand, if the item on your list will take days or weeks, and if it can be broken down into 2 or more steps, then let's call it a project. Projects may include setting up a yard sale, preparing a holiday meal, or presenting a quarterly report at work. Put a letter P next to all of your projects. The letter P is another visual cue that this is an item you'll need to break down into tasks. Once you break projects into tasks, then they'll become more manageable, achieving incremental tasks within a set time frame. So take a moment to mark your to-do list with T's and P's. Once you do that, you'll be able to identify which items on your to-do list are tasks and which are projects. As you make this practice a habit, you won't need to mark as many T's and P's. You'll eventually get the hang of which items are tasks and which items are projects. But when you're just starting out, this method is a helpful tool to start measuring your to-dos against your time. Next, take all your task items and assign a time to each one. For this exercise, you are answering the question, how long will the task take to accomplish? You don't need a down-to-the-minute number. Just jot down your best realistic estimate of how much time you need to accomplish each task. This is called a guesstimate, which is short for your best guess of the estimated time it will take to accomplish the task. Remember that tasks take minutes or hours, so the times you write down should be in minutes or hours. If a task takes longer than that, then you are most likely looking at a project, not a task. Change your letter T for task to a letter P for project. We'll talk more about project timeframes in a moment. Are you surprised by any of your task estimates? I was surprised that I spent more time thinking about signing the permission slip than it would take to actually sign it. Every thought I had was an attempt to mentally remind myself about doing something that I could have gotten done in under a minute. If I mentally reminded myself throughout the week to sign the permission slip instead of taking literally 1 minute to sign it, then I was spending way more time thinking about the task than if I had just done it. Think about the negativity that goes with thinking about doing a task instead of actually doing it. Instead of mental peace, your headspace is continually occupied by nagging reminders. This puts you in a negative mindset. It may even lead to berating yourself. You think you might forget about it. You get frustrated with yourself for not having done it yet. You start to feel overwhelmed by a growing to-do list. Instead, get those little tasks done now. Why wait? Maybe there is a legitimate reason you have to wait. Like the money for the field trip isn't in your bank account yet, so you're going to wait to sign the slip and turn it in with the check. Maybe you have no ink pen handy. Maybe you have questions for the teacher before you feel comfortable signing it. But if you're just letting it hang out on your to-do list out of procrastination, laziness, or disorganization, for example, then stop thinking and start acting. You will enjoy the positive feelings of getting things done. You'll feel relieved, more at peace mentally, more organized and on top of things, and the like. You'll also have more time because you spent 1 minute signing the permission slip now versus 20 minutes of thinking about it throughout the week. What will you do with those extra 20 minutes? Enjoy a latte? Read a chapter? Do a workout? Make a meal? All that time is returned to you to do what you really want to be doing. Go ahead and give each of your tasks a time guesstimate. Are you surprised at how little or how much time a task might take? Let us know in the comments what surprised you about this exercise. Now let's talk more about projects. Remember that tasks are smaller components of a project that you can accomplish in shorter amounts of time. They happen in sequence. Altogether, the tasks add up to complete a larger project. Each project is built out of a series of 2 or more tasks. Each task of a project is a milestone. Accomplishing a milestone is a great feeling that will add momentum to your project. Take the projects on your list and break them into a series of smaller tasks. For example, to present a quarterly report at work, you may need to 1. Understand the assignment, 2. Research the topic, 3. Draft the presentation slides, 4. Get feedback from your peers, 5. Finalize the slides, 6. Do a practice run, and 6. Present the quarterly report. Go ahead and break down the projects on your list into tasks now. Now that you've identified all the tasks that go under a project, you can guesstimate completion times for each task. In our example about presenting a quarterly report, you need a 15-minute conversation with your supervisor to make sure you understand the assignment. You set aside 4 hours to research the topic. You estimate it will take 16 hours to draft the slides, and so on. Important note, if your project has a deadline, make sure that your task times are in sync with that deadline. If your task times exceed the deadline, then you can find ways to trim the amount of time you think you'll spend on your tasks or find out if an extension to the project is possible. Keep breaking down tasks until they can't be broken down anymore. In our example, drafting the slides could be broken down further into subtask A, drafting slides 1, 2, 3 for 2 hours. Subtask B, drafting slides 4 to 6 for another 2 hours, etc. For the getting peer feedback example, you might break it down into subtasks, like sending your peers the draft slides for feedback, setting up a meeting with them to discuss their suggestions, and hosting that feedback meeting. Just like you break a project into tasks, you can break a task into subtasks. You can code subtasks with the letters ST for quick identification, if that helps. Go ahead and do that now to all the project tasks on your list. You may be wondering, when do you stop planning and actually do all these tasks? Well, why not right now? Nothing should ever hang out on your to-do list. Just start acting on them. Right now, you'll feel better that you did. Here are some tips on what to tackle and when. First, do your time-bound priorities. Any top priority on your list that has an upcoming deadline should be done ASAP. In our examples, that would be scheduling time now to meet with your boss about your upcoming presentation or washing the dishes tonight instead of waiting until morning. Next, do your quick wins. Getting the shortest tasks out of the way feels great. In our examples, sign that permission slip now. You know it literally takes a minute, so why put it off? Doing shorter tasks in the moment keeps things from cluttering up your mind and to-do list. It frees your time and mental energy. It lets you fill up your mind and life with other, better things. It keeps your to-do list moving in the right direction, toward accomplishment. Lastly, do whatever you feel like doing in this moment. Maybe you have a sudden idea about how to design your presentation slides. Strike while the iron is hot and draft them now. When you want to put things off, challenge your reason for doing so by asking why. Why not do this now? More often than not, there's no reason to keep putting it off. Before moving on in this video, spend a little time now, maybe up to 15 minutes, to get at least one thing off your to-do list. Let us know in the comments what you did and how you felt by doing it now instead of putting it off. Have you already noticed that some things you've been keeping on your to-do list for weeks or months would really only take a small amount of time to accomplish? If so, have you wondered why are you waiting to do the little things? Often the reasons are, I don't feel like it, I'm too tired, or I just don't want to. But those reasons slide you into that negative space we want to avoid and isn't necessary to be in. Here's an advanced lesson on time management for when you're ready for it. I challenge you to go further. Ask yourself why you even need to put some tasks on your to-do list at all. Why not do them as soon as you think about them? Maybe you need to pick up a dog toy on the living room floor. Don't write that on your to-do list. Just do it at the moment of thought. Need to wipe the crumbs off that kitchen counter? Don't write that on your to-do list. Just do it at the moment of thought. Do you hate seeing those old food wrappers every time you get in your car? Don't write that on your to-do list. Just do it at the moment of thought. Anytime you have a task that would take under a few minutes to accomplish, go ahead and do it. Don't wait. Do it the moment you think about it. Instead of shelving it with a list of other to-dos, begin acting on these little guys at the time you think about them. Tackling them in the moment is a far better use of your time, focus, and energy. I understand that sometimes you're not in the right place to do as task at the moment you think about it. In those cases, it's logical to use your to-do list. Jot down your thought and then do it as soon as you're in that physical space. The bigger point is that taking those few minutes right at the time of your thought is way better than spending days, weeks, or even months nagging yourself to do such a piddly little task. Challenge yourself on why you're really waiting to do this thing. Legitimate reasons are fine, but ask yourself if it is more worth it to keep making excuses or to just do it. You can try to ignore it, but it will just keep coming back to your mind. The only way to avoid that mental nagging is to get the task off your to-do list. Let's call that mental nagging an energy drain. You want to avoid energy drains. And one of the best ways to do that is to, well, just start doing things. We'll have a separate lesson on energy drains later. Doing those under 15 minutes things right away and experiencing that instant accomplishment is sure to make you smile and keep your mind free of all those little to-dos. So, start making it a habit and stay accountable. If you want, you can reward yourself, such as, if I clean my car now instead of ignoring it, then I'll treat myself to ice cream. Eventually, you will come to think of a task that takes under 15 minutes, like signing a permission slip or cleaning trash out your car, as a dopamine hit of positive accomplishment. Managing your time effectively will literally feel good. No doubt you're already discovering that there are many benefits to the method you've been learning in these first two lessons, and we've only just started our journey into effective time management. First, the more you practice mind dumping, prioritizing, and assigning time to your projects and tasks, the more you'll notice your mind is staying decluttered. Remember that commitment you made in lesson 1. You'll soon notice that less of your headspace is going to a mental to-do list. That means more of it is going to things that matter to you the most, which are the things on your commitment list. This mental decluttering will keep improving as time goes on. Another thing you'll gain from doing this method is the fun realization that some of the things you have been keeping on your mental to-do list for months really only take a small amount of time to accomplish. So why wait? Why not do them as soon as you think about them? Those quick wins are a dopamine hit that will literally make you feel good and keep you motivated to do more. Tackling things in the moment is a far better use of your time, focus, and energy. If you can't do them in the moment, then add them to your to-do list. But don't let them hang out there. Your to-do list is not a party, and your tasks are not allowed to overstay their welcome. They need to keep moving along, like snack foods on a conveyor belt. So do those little things that take under 15 minutes as soon as possible. Experiencing that instant accomplishment is sure to make you smile and keep your mind free of all those little to-dos. The bottom line is that in time and with practice, you will be able to do all these time management techniques like mind dumping, prioritizing, and acting ASAP with surprising efficiency. So, start making what you've learned here a habit. Thank you for watching. Be sure to stay in touch so you won't miss out on future courses. While you're here, check out our other offerings on time management and more. There are many ways to connect with us. Sign up for our free e-newsletter at bookswv.substack.com. Each month, you'll get our latest releases, event news, promotions, and inspiration for writers, readers, students, and educators. Follow us on social media. We're on x.com, Substack Notes, and YouTube. Purchase our products on Amazon and Kindle, Lulu, and Etsy, and visit us in person at special events where you can meet our authors and get your books signed. Finally, subscribe to our channel and take a moment to help out our growing channel with a comment, like, and share.